Welcome to part 23 of this series, trying to locate the sons of Noah and where they really went to. I was thinking about this video we did, was the Apostle Paul born in Spain, part 21, and it's quite a strong claim to make if you think about the difference of, we've been told that this is the region of Cilicia and Tarsus, the Apostle Paul being born in this region, but in that video we're looking at southern Spain and saying, was he born here in southern Spain? Now, I thought, making a video like that and then not elaborating in it and taking it further didn't quite feel right. So I want to speak about this because I was looking at this map with the journeys of the Apostle Paul, and I think two of his journeys start from this region here, which is modern day Syria. But if you think about the work that we've been doing, we've been looking at ancient Syria being here in Africa. So you need to watch some of these videos that we've done earlier on in the series, like part 6, Kingdom of Damascus in Nigeria, and was Abraham born in Nigeria over the Chaldees? You need to be watching some of these videos for this to make sense. And this one here we spoke about Japheth the Great, Assyrian kingdom in possibly in Nigeria, because then we'd be saying that the Apostle Paul is actually starting here from his missionary journeys and coming to preach to the Gentile nations. So it's a very big difference, and that's kind of what I want to speak about in this video. So you also need to watch this other video that we did. If you haven't watched it, was Cappadocia really in Spain? So this is kind of what we're building on, this picture in Spain with Cappadocia and Cilicia. So if we look here, so we're told that Cappadocia is here and Cilicia is here in Turkey, but we've been looking at potentially Cappadocia being in western Spain and Cilicia in southern Spain. So you can see how the picture is starting to change. And I want to speak about this verse from Acts 16, and it says, Paul and his companions traveled throughout the region of Phrygia and Galatia, having been kept by the Holy Spirit from preaching the word in the province of Asia. Now this part doesn't make sense to me, because if we go back to the map, here we've got Phrygia and Galatia, but this is in Asia Minor. We know this is Asia or Asia Minor. So it really doesn't make sense, because if I go to this map, now we can see that the Apostle Paul is in this region, and he's preaching in this region, and he's going throughout Phrygia and Galatia, but then he's told by the Holy Spirit not to preach in Asia. But then he goes to Mysia and preaches, but that's also still in Asia Minor. So to me this doesn't really make sense. It doesn't feel right. And you can see how they put Asia here to kind of make it make sense that he's going around Asia to come to Mysia, but there's no province there called Asia. There's no province here called Asia. Now, I don't want to criticize the person that's done this, because they've maybe done it with a good heart and good intentions to try and locate the journey of Paul. But is it true? That's the important part. And another thing that doesn't make sense to me are these churches, because you've got these ancient churches that are written in the book of Revelation, like Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea. But now these are in Asia, or Asia Minor. But the Holy Spirit said you mustn't preach in Asia. So then how come you have these very ancient churches in Asia if he wasn't supposed to be preaching there? So I'm just saying, for me personally, something doesn't feel right about this. So let's just think about this Phrygia and Galatia. Now, if we look at Phrygia first, the capital of Phrygia is Gordion. This is the capital of ancient Phrygia. So I was thinking about this work that we're doing, and thinking about this picture with looking at Spain for Cappadocia and Cilicia, and then thinking about wondering about these locations like Phrygia and Galatia. So I was looking in the region of Portugal, and I saw Garda. Okay, so I was wondering if this could be connected to the capital of Phrygia, Gordum or Gordion. because I was investigating this, and if you look at another similar word in Spain, which is Cordoba, we can see this is formed from potentially the Phoenician language Cartuba. So there we spelled, instead of C-O-R-D, it's spelled Q-A-R-T, and this means, they say, town. But if we go to Carthage, which is a Phoenician city, we can see that this Carthage means new city. See there, it means new city, and it's this cart again, that means city. See that, Q-R-T. So in the other example they said town, but now they're saying city. So I think it can either mean town or city. But it's this cart, I think, is what's forming this word gordion or gordum. And I think that this potentially, this garda is also just saying that it's a city. Basically that's what it means, city. So this could be connected potentially to the capital of ancient Phrygia. So that's what I'm starting to wonder now, whether what we're looking at here is Phrygia being connected with Portugal. So you can see how potentially what we're seeing is that we're looking at western Spain for Cappadocia, southern Spain for Cilicia, sorry, but now we're coming around towards Portugal. So can you see what's starting to emerge here potentially? Now, if you think about this, that maybe what we're looking at is this idea of this part being Spain coming around to Portugal, and now we're going to Galatia, because you see in this it says that he traveled throughout the region of Phrygia and Galatia, like it's connected. I want to show you that we still have a region called Galicia in Spain. So this word Galicia and Galatia must be connected, because it must be coming from this, this Gali. And we're going to speak about that in the next video. But Galatia and Galicia must mean the same thing, that there were people that were known as Gali in this region. So can you see how this picture is starting to emerge? And I know in one of my videos, one of the viewers said that I put some wild ideas, and sometimes I also stop to think, do I really believe what I'm saying? Do I really think this is true? So, because it is kind of wild in a way, but if you follow the information, it's this is what it seems to be leading me towards. That if we think about this now, that we've got Cappadocia potentially western Spain, Cilicia in southern Spain, and we're coming towards Phrygia, which could be connected to Portugal, but we're still on the Iberian Peninsula. We should be expecting to find Galatia still in Spain, nearby Phrygia, and we can see that on this map. Let me show you what I'm thinking now is Cappadocia, Cilicia, and then coming towards Phrygia in Portugal, and then we have this region that's still called Galicia in Spain. So Phrygia coming around to Galatia or Galicia. So really amazing how this, how this has been changed. And what I think is happening is that if I go back to this map, they're saying that the Apostle Paul started here and then went on his journey. But if you look at all those videos and all the work that we've been doing, it seems like he, from how I feel about it, I think he's starting from this region here, and then going north to come preach to the Gentiles. So can you see then what you have to do if you want to change the location and make him actually be starting here? Potentially you have to move all these kingdoms of Spain and Portugal and bring them over here. So I think that's what's happened, is that Cappadocia, Cilicia, Phrygia, Galicia, they've moved these locations and put the names on the map over here. So what we're looking at is actually Spain and Portugal. So I hope that's kind of making sense. I know it's a little bit strange, and it's, if you come across this the first time, it's going to seem like that person said, a bit wild. But I think if you follow the whole series, you're probably going to have, you're going to kind of feel the way I am, I think, about this, potentially, that It might seem crazy, but it actually might be it might be a fairer and a truer picture that we're working on with all these videos that we've been doing. So that's where I am with that. But I did want to show you one more thing, because before we finish this video, that if the picture that we're working on, and it's that actually the Apostle Paul was starting here on his journeys, then it needs to make sense, and it needs to kind of ring true. So I want to go to this verse here in Acts 14, and it says, "And having spoken in Perga the word, they went down to Attalia, and thence did sail to Antioch." So now he's returning to where he started. So Antioch is where he started, and now he's this is the returning part, but he's returning from Attalia. And I saw Atalaya, Portugal, in the center of Portugal. So it's this region of Portugal, the center of Portugal. But this Attalia seems very similar to Attalia in the book of Acts. So we can see that it's it's like a sea town, potentially where you take a voyage from. So I thought that was very interesting if we think about this, because if the Apostle Paul is starting here and he's coming to preach to the Gentile nations, and now he's finished his missionary work and he wants to return, we do have Attalia here in Portugal. That would make sense to be a location where you'd be then returning from where you started. So I thought that's very interesting, and what we'll do is we're going to continue this work and keep investigating, and we're going to keep looking at this some of these details, not just leave this, bring up this claim and then leave it. So in the next video we're going to speak more about the sons of Gomer, and I want to see if we can find more to support this picture that we're working on. Just to recap, what we're thinking is that we're actually looking at kingdoms that were in Spain and Portugal, and they've moved them into this region of Turkey. But these ancient kingdoms were maybe here in Spain and Portugal, and we're speaking about how this could have been a really important region in the ancient world. So until the next video, thank you for watching this one, and we'll see you in the next one.